City boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video. And you know we gotta go ahead and do a Monday Night Raw review. Let's jump right on into it, okay? This show was definitely better than SmackDown was. And that's not saying much, all right? Because the bad part, that's like the best compliment I can give about this show. The bad part is that we got the same show this week that we got last week with just a couple of tweaks. All right. We got a couple of different faces in there, but everything else was pretty much exactly the same. All right. A couple settings may have changed. Like, that's it. But this was the same show that we got this week. We got last week and the week before that. See, that's the reason why Triple H does these qualifying matches and the tournaments and all this shit. He loves qualifying matches. He loves tournaments. He loves shit like that because he believes that his job is just made way easier by having that, right? And the reason why he believes that is because it's actually true. His job becomes much easier because he just throws out a couple of names on the board. All right, these are the matches that we're going to have over the next couple of weeks. This is who I want to be in the Money in the Bank. And we're just going to have these meaningless matches. We don't have to build any storylines with it. We don't have to build any feuds with it. No, we don't got to do any of that. We just throw a bunch of matches out there, and then those will take up 20, 30 minutes at a time. We'll make some of them, main events. We'll bounce it around a little bit just so it doesn't get too redundant. And then on top of that, he doesn't have to worry about everything else because he has just like on Friday Night SmackDown with the Bloodline being his anchor story. We have the Judgment Day story over here. We can stretch that out. We have multiple members of the Judgment Day. They can just be filled up throughout the card. We can have the boys go out there. We have Finn Balor and JD McDonough. They can go out there and have a match. We can have Liv Morgan go out there and have her own match with somebody. Then we can have Raquel have a match. All right. And because Dom's champion now, Dom doesn't wrestle anymore. What do you mean? He's not going to have a match at Money in the Bank. Why would he do that? Why would a champion defend their title at a PLE? This is just where we're at right now, man. We just get a bunch of bullshit matches, and then we're able to fill up the card with one of Triple H's anchor stories, or anchor storylines, if you want to call it that, anchor factions. And, the rest of it is just, all right, we'll cut a vignette here, right? This is it. Like, this is it. We don't have much. This show does not have much to offer. And every single week, the amount of effort that's actually being put into the show, right? So that's being put into stories. It just gets more and more apparent each week that these people that are in the ring, that are backstage, they need stories. They need direction. A lot of these people have actual potential to be, they can be stars, right? They can be something. They can be something. Not one of these motherfuckers is a John Cena, Rock, Stone Cold, or whatever, but they can be something adjacent to that, right? Maybe a level under that, if booked properly. But we can't get that, man. It's the strangest thing. It's like Triple H. He does not care about getting people over at all, as if people being over doesn't also line the pockets. He doesn't want to put in the investment, all right, the effort, the time that it takes to get people over, how Vince took his time, took the effort to get him over, to get John Cena over, to get The Rock over, to get Val Venus over, to get fucking Santino Marella over. There was time, there was effort there to get Shawn Michaels, Taker, fucking the Road Warriors, to get fucking Hulk Hogan over. He took time. It took time. It took dedication, and it took patience, right? And trial and error. There is no more trial and error. They're not trying shit on a week-to-week basis. We're getting the same fucking show. Trial and error. As adults, we're here. We know that trial and error is one of the biggest parts of how you learn to move up and get to the next level. You got to try some shit, fail at some shit, and then you end up succeeding. That's how it always works. That's just how it works. But you have to try. And every single week I watch this show, it's like they're not trying, man. They're not trying. They don't care. And it's like, if they don't care, if Triple H does not give a fuck, why should I? You know what I'm saying? Why should I? Why should I every single week? Why do I have to come out and see the same? I'm watching the same fucking show. Week after week after week, man. It's getting, like, it gets exhausting. It really does. Especially at this point where it's just exhausting to try to sit my way through one of these shows when it's the same show as last week, or just nothing is happening, man. Just matches and just a bunch of dumbass spots for no reason. People putting their necks and lives on the line. Kairi Sane just got back from an injury. She's getting swung into a fucking barricade. She's getting swung into the side of the ring. Like, what the fuck are we doing? This shit just, I don't know, man. This shit, it gets wild after a while. We can jump into it, man. Let's break down the show. You know what I mean? You'll get my thoughts as we go along. This show just took a lot out of me. It was better than Friday Night SmackDown. I'm going to give it that, all right? But that's not a high bar to clear. That's like, it's not high. Like, I gave Saturday Night SmackDown like a 1.5 or some shit like that. I think I gave it maybe a 2. Did I give it a 2? I think I gave it a 2. This show would probably be like a 3.5. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a very big step up. And it's only because there was more shit going on tonight than I guess on Friday. Or maybe I just like seeing Liv Morgan on my screen. I don't know. Maybe it's Stephanie Vaquera. She's fine as hell, right? Because she made her debut tonight. Who knows? But let's go ahead, jump into it. We'll run it down. Let's get into it, man. So we start off, of course, with some superstar walkouts. All right, I couldn't care less about this. Next up, we get Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. I guess they made a bet where if Cole won the bet, then then Pat McAfee would have to wear a suit to work or some shit like that. And Cole, if he loses the bet, then he'd have to wear a tank top or some shit. And he decided to wear a jersey since they were betting on the Eastern Conference Finals. Who cares? All right, Michael Cole did the show wearing the Indiana Pacers jersey. All right, so that was that whole thing. All right, it took up like fucking 5 minutes of our time, but whatever. We come out. CM Punk comes out to cut a promo. He cuts the same damn. He cuts the same promo he always cuts. All right, and here comes Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, he comes out and he basically tells CM Punk like, "Hey, we need you. We need you to win. I need you to win this match tonight because CM Punk is gonna be in the qualifying match later on tonight, right?" And Sami Zayn says, "We need you to win. I need you to win. I got your back if anything happens." All this gooey shit. You know what I mean? And that was that. Right? It was basically just CM Punk declaring that he was gonna, win the Money in the Bank. And he was going to cash in for the third time. Then Sami Zayn comes up. I'll be there and I'll suck your dick. All right, we move on. Judgment Day, they're backstage. They're doing the same fucking story. All right, it's the same fucking story that we did with Rhea Ripley. It's the same shit. It's the same shit, bro. All right, so I can't even really, you know what I mean? It's the same shit. Roxanne and Liv Morgan, they're bumping heads because Liv Morgan doesn't trust Roxanne just the same way Rhea Ripley didn't trust Liv Morgan when she was trying to become a part of, the Judgment Day, before she completely, ruined everything or whatnot for Rhea Ripley. So Yeah, I mean, that it's the same shit. It's the same shit. We're just flipping it now. But whatever. Next up, Stephanie Vaquera. She got a vignette because she just got she moved her way up to the main roster. So that's cool or whatever. Booker T's not here though. So since Booker T is the one that got her over, all right, I predict she's going to be basically in Kairi Sane's position within the next 6 months. All right, like it just is what it is. She doesn't speak good English. Booker T's not there to get her over. All right, Booker T's the one that's getting all these NXT talents over. And the fact that you don't have Booker T on one of these main shows to help get these NXT talents over, right? It's just not going to do very good for. It's not going to be very good for their career. Like the way Michael Cole and Pat McAfee called the Devil's Kiss, right? The way they called it is not the way that Booker T calls it, obviously, right? And it's just she's not going to get over. She's not going to get over to the casual audience, to the main audience, right? It just is what it is. But she got a vignette, right? Showing off what little character she has. She doesn't really have much. She just says that she's here to dominate, obviously. But then we move on into a match, the last qualifier for the women's Money in the Bank. We get Stephanie Vaquera versus Liv Morgan versus Ivy Nile. All right. This match was a whatever match. Stephanie Vaquera ends up picking up the victory. Liv Morgan, there was some kind of I believe there was some kind of shenanigans in this match, but I'm not 100% sure. I kind of tuned this match completely out because Stephanie Vaquera and Liv Morgan and Ivy Nile, this is a match that I don't... How could I care about this match, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. But Stephanie wins, of course, and we move on. All right, AJ Styles, he's backstage. He's got... he's walking somewhere doing something. Then Paul Heyman comes up to him. He tells him happy birthday. Then he tries to convince him like, hey, I know you're going to be in that match tonight, but here's the thing. I need you to focus on Dom and the IC championship. Don't even worry about the Money in the Bank, all right? Leave that to Seth freaking Rollins. AJ Styles obviously declines this threat, this offer, whatever, all right? He says, I don't respond well to threats. How does it feel? You're always chasing a meal ticket, right? This, that, and the other. And then we move on, all right? He obviously was not going to go for this shit. He just said Paul Heyman's chasing a check, chasing a meal ticket, and that he doesn't respond well to threats. That's what this was, right? We move on. Rusev, he gets a vignette. He's saying the same fucking shit, except now he's saying, oh, Sheamus wasn't there for me. I'm here to clean, and I'm here to keep people from falling to the wayside, like he let me fall to the wayside, whatever. Like Rusev's character makes no sense, all right? And then we get Sheamus backstage next with Alpha Academy, all right? And Sheamus calls out Rusev, of course. Sheamus is big up in Tozawa, saying he has heart, and that Natalia and fucking what's her face, Maxine Dupree, they should start a tag team, and they should really take their tag team seriously because they have heart. So there was that. Then Sheamus got interviewed by Kathy Kelly. Sheamus basically just calls out Rusev, and we move the fuck on. We get the War Raiders versus the Judgment Day. All right, we get Finn Balor and JD McDonough versus Ivar and Eric, and New Day was on commentary. That was the best thing about this match, but who could fucking give a damn about this match? We move on. Judgment Day win with the help from Roxanne Perez. All right, next up, we got a vignette from Becky Lynch, where she basically was trying to say that everything, all the success of Lyra's career is because of Becky Lynch. And obviously I have an issue with this because they have not set this story up at all in the slightest whatsoever. They have not, all this shit that they're talking about, oh, well, all her success is because of me. I did this for her and I did that for her and I was her mentor. We didn't see any of this shit happening on the screen. We saw Becky Lynch make her miraculous return at WrestleMania in lieu of Bayley, right? They won the championships off of Liv Morgan and Raquel for some reason. And then the next night they lost those championships, and then Becky turned on Lyra. That is what we got. That is the story that we got. And that's not a story. That's a couple of things happening, right? That's 3 things happening in succession that have no bearing on each other whatsoever. Especially when it's regarding a storyline. Like, so all this mentor, she was the mentor and she was the pupil. We didn't see any of this. So you just saying it does nothing for me. And that's all this was. It's Becky saying that all this and all her success is because of Becky. So whatever. All right. Next up, Stephanie Vaquer. She's about to get an interview, or kind of getting an interview. But she gives her answer in English or in Spanish or whatever, Chilean. I don't know what language she speaks. I think it's Spanish. Because Kathy Kelly asks her, basically, she says, how does it feel to win your first match on Raw, right? Then Rhea Ripley comes out with she pulled up on Stephanie Vaquer how John Cena pulled up on Rey Mysterio after he won the WWE Championship. Like, she pulled up on her just like that. Like, yeah, all this little hype that you got, that's over with. Booker T ain't here to get you over, bitch. That's how Rhea Ripley pulled up on her. But she didn't do much. She just shook her hand, said, "Welcome to Raw." Who cares? We move the fuck on. Lyra Valkyria, she comes out to the ring next, dressed like a regular gal. Again, you know what I mean? I say it every week, but I gotta continue saying it. She's supposed to be a bird lady, but she does not act like bird lady. This makes no sense. Her being the girl next door does not work for her because she's not fine enough, even though she is fine. She is fine. All right. I would. Yes, I would. Right. But she's not that damn fine. Right. She's not fine enough to be Miss Girl Next Door. And her character wasn't set up to be Girl Next Door. And if she is just Girl Next Door, why the fuck does she come out to the ring wearing wings from time to time? Like, just whatever. All right. That is going to be my main gripe with this. All right. But she cuts the promo. She says that Becky's a coward. She calls her out. Becky comes out. They have a little back and forth and then they brawl. All right. Who cares? We move the fuck on. Like, who the fuck cares? All right. Penta gets a vignette, mostly in Spanish. So how the fuck can I care? What the fuck does this do for me? This is the only question I ask. What does this do for me? I'm pretty sure it was about the Money in the Bank and him saying he was going to win, but I couldn't be for sure, right? I couldn't be for sure. They put this shit in Spanish and didn't give a motherfucker a single subtitle. All right. I don't understand this, but who cares? We move the fuck on. All right. Next up, we got Sami Zayn and Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. All right. First of all, Sami Zayn and Jey Uso coming out together. Sami Zayn getting his own personalized yeet glasses. All right. What is this gay shit that I'm watching, man? What is this gay shit, man? That's because that's what it feels like, man. It just feels like I'm just watching some gay. Jey Uso puts the sunglasses on this man. So he slides some sunglasses on Sami Zayn's face. And Sami Zayn is acting like Jey Uso's biggest fucking fan. I'm like, what is this gay shit, man? Why am I watching these two butt buddies come down the ramp yeeting together? Like, just saying that shit, man. Like, what the fuck? Whatever, okay? But they yeeted for like 10 minutes because of course they did. And then Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker came out. All right. Obviously, they still don't even have a name. Right? They still don't even have a tag team name. All right. We still don't know what this faction is called. They have not come up with a name. I think Triple H is too scared to come up with a name for this faction because every single name that he's come up with so far has been fucking just straight up in the dirt, man. Pure Fusion Collective. He was gonna be calling Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley or the New Judgment Day. He's gonna call them Street Trash or some shit like that. The Terror Twins. Everything he comes up with is straight shit. All right. Anytime he has the chance to be creative, it goes to shit. So I don't blame him for not. I don't blame him for not coming up with a name, but this team needs a name. And they also need a tag team theme song, right? They need a faction theme song, right? Because just mixing their songs together and just having their own separate names pop up on the board, that shit just looks so low effort, man. It looks so fucking low effort. And like once again, they're not even trying, bro. Not even trying. But whatever, all right. So, this was a nothing match, obviously. I mean, if you didn't know how this match was going to end, I don't know what to tell you, all right? You're not watching close enough. Obviously, Seth Rollins comes out and he stomps Jey into oblivion, leading to a DQ. All right, Jey Uso wins. Jey Uso and Sami Zayn, they win by DQ. All right, they start beating the dog shit. Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker, they start beating the dog shit out of Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. Then CM Punk, of course, comes out for the save. Judgment Day, they're backstage again. This time it was, Liv Morgan coming up to Finn Balor, asking him like, "Hey, I know what you're doing here, right? You're trying to, sow disruption here, right? You're trying to sow destruction here, right?" And Finn's like, "What are you talking about? No, man, it is what it is, But this is what I think you should do. I think you should take Roxanne out there with you, so that way you can have some backup with Raquel tonight." And then. He said Roxanne should go out there instead of Liv to have Raquel's back. All right, that's what he said. He said Raquel should have have Liv stay back there with him, and they can watch Roxanne and Raquel in action. But Liv Morgan said, "No, keep that bitch away from me, and I'm gonna have Raquel's back." Then we go into the match with Kairi Sane and Raquel Rodriguez. Liv Morgan gets involved. All right, usual Judgment Day shenanigans. Then Io Sky comes out for the save. All right, Io Sky, she runs out there, batters Liv Morgan, and then Raquel Rodriguez, she grips up Io Sky's hair. Kairi Sane comes and kicks fucking Raquel in the side of the head and hits the insane elbow, and that's it, right? That's the match. 1, 2, 3. My whole question for this match was, why wasn't Io Sky out there the whole time? But I guess it was because Michael Cole, I don't know what they're trying to say, what story they're trying to tell here, because Michael Cole was like, well, maybe Liv Morgan should have listened to Raquel or to Finn Balor, because then, none of this would have happened. But it still technically would have happened, because Io Sky still would have came out there. She still would have saved. Like, that. It didn't make any sense. This whole thing did not make sense. But whatever, we got Sami Zayn, he's backstage, and he was getting touched up by this trainer. And I need y'all to find out who this trainer is. I need to find her. All right, she was about fined and somebody find this trainer lady. Find her. Bring her to me at once. Okay? I need that booty at once. All right? But whatever, all right? Sami Zayn, he's getting touched up by this fine-ass trainer, and Karrion Cross comes up and says, he says some shit, right? And Sami Zayn's like, "What's your problem with me? Why are you been following me around these last couple of months?" Asking the question that we all want to know. Karrion Cross just says the most boring, basic shit, all right? He says, well, it starts off good. Let's say that. It starts off good. He says, "I think you're a liar. I think you lie to these people. I think you lie to yourself. I think you lie, right? I think you're a liar. You could have been champion 10 times over if you, did what you had to do. I know that you can be a really bad, a terrible guy to people. I know you really know how to hurt people, but you're lying to yourself trying to say that you're a good guy. But you're not a good guy. You're a bad guy, just like the rest of us." So it started off okay, and then it just went downhill. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know you're a bad guy just like us. Like, this is what is this, 3rd grade? You know what I mean? But whatever. All right. Sami Zayn's like, "You're wrong." Karrion Cross was like, "I may be wrong, but I may also be right." And then he just walks away. Like, what does this mean, bro? Like, what does that mean, bro? Like, whatever. All right. We're going to put as much effort into this segment as they did. All right. We're going to move the fuck on. Next up, we got Jey Uso backstage. All right. Before we got them backstage, they showed a whole recap of the Gunther Jey Uso situation ever since WrestleMania, where Jey Uso has cut the same promo on Gunther 4 different times, and Gunther has cut the same promo on Jey Uso 4 different times. Okay, and they've been saying the same shit, And they said the same shit last week, right? But whatever, right? They show a whole little recap of their situation since WrestleMania. And from there, we get Gunther walking up on Jey Uso in the backstage locker room area, okay? Gunther says the same shit that he said to Jey Uso last week. In order not to make it, too repetitive, I guess, right? They're like, all right, we're going to have you cut the same promo on each other. But instead of doing it in the ring, we're going to do it backstage this time. They don't want Jey Uso anywhere near a mic ever again in life because of how bad he fucked up last week. But they cut the same fucking promo. Except this time, Jey Uso didn't say shit besides 3 letters, 1 word, tap. As in Gunther tapped. Then he says, I'll see you next week, Oos. And then that's that. But they cut this is the same fucking promo that we... Watch this shit tonight. Go back and watch whatever they watched last week. I mean, if you want to waste your time. They cut the same fucking promo. We move on to the main event. We got AJ Styles versus CM Punk versus El Grande Americano, all right? And during CM Punk's entrance, they always like to do this dumb shit where they show the live and loud shit. And that shit's so fucking fake, all right? They had to take that shit off the screen so fucking fast because of how terrible, how fake it absolutely looked next to the crowd, all right? Because the crowd was louder and it was at an 85, and then the crowd got quieter, and then it went all the way up to 95, and then it goes all the way up to 100. I'm like, this fake ass, get this shit off my fucking television screen. Get this bullshit the fuck out of here. They got Triple H just has to lie, has to suck his own dick, all right? And it is what it is, all right? CM Punk is not as big of a star as they want to make him out to believe. He used to be. There was a whole lot of hype around him when he first got back. Obviously, his injury sidelined him a bit, but it's not just his injury. The booking that he's received ever since he's gotten back, all right? Losing all the big matches, all right? He lost all the big matches, all right? He's won his feud with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, but when it comes time to get to that championship or get to even a main event of a PLE on a regular, no, he doesn't. He never gets that. CM Punk is not that fucking guy anymore, and it's all Hunter's fault, all right? But this match was a good match. I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't have a good time watching this match. I absolutely did. Was it too fucking long? Of course it was. But most of these matches are too damn long for their own good. But this match was a decent match for what it was. All right. Then obviously we have to get, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. They come out there and they start beating on CM Punk, and then Jey Uso, Sami Zayn. They come out. AJ Styles, he jumps out of the ring, falls on top of everybody, crossbodies everybody, all right? El Grande Americano, he ends up taking advantage of all this situation and ends up pinning AJ Styles. So El Grande Americano, he wins. It's funny, I think, I forget who said it. Somebody said it. It might have been the word lifer. It might have been the word lifer. It was like, it would be kind of funny if Chad Gable, lost this match, and then El Grande Americano, he won the match. And that's exactly what happened, all right? Might have been word lifer, might have been the hater, I'm not sure, all right? If you're not subscribed to them, please go and subscribe to them. They're pretty fucking awesome, all right? So, yeah, El Grande Americano, he wins the match. And then after the match, we just get a brawl. We just get a big-ass brawl between the baby faces. See, we got CM Punk out there. Seth Rollins comes out there. Seth Rollins ends up stomping everybody. And then we move the fuck on. All right? That's the end of the show. All right? That was your go-home show. Remember that Money in the Bank is this Saturday. Are you more excited? Do I sound more excited for Money in the Bank this Friday? Or this Saturday? No. All right? I'm not excited at all. The only reason why I am any kind of excited is just simply because Money in the Bank is one of my favorite matches, one of my favorite, PLEs, one of my favorite, fucking story devices in all of WWE. It's ever since its introduction, which was the same year that I started watching WWE. Ever since its introduction, the Money in the Bank has been one of my favorite things to look forward to each and every single year that it happens, right? So, and obviously it became, you know, a part of the tradition and everything like that. But it's always been one of my favorite storytelling devices in WWE. So obviously I'm going to be excited on that aspect, just like, you know, I would be excited to watch the Royal Rumble, even though the Royal Rumble is going to be shit most of the time, right? Like, it's the Royal Rumble though, right? It's the Royal Rumble. So let's see what happens. Let's see who wins, right? So yeah, this show, it was a nothing show. You know, I got most of everything that I wanted to say in the beginning off of this show. This show was just ass. It's the same show we got last week. There's no effort in this show. You know, we get zero effort week after week after week. And yes, this show was better than than Friday night. But that's not saying much, all right? I gave that show a 2 out of 10. I'm going to give this show a 3.5 out of 10, just like I said in the beginning. Let me know what y'all thought about tonight's show down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want to hear some more. And this has been your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.